Hello one, I am Undead Horde and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Void Vivian account. We've seen a couple things from this account, a few videos, and things like that, but not a ton. Like the other videos that have been previously going up this week on the other alternate accounts, this is just going to be an update video. Just kind of showing around the account, seeing where we're at, and kind of the hopes of where we want to be by next week. So we're gonna start off the champions like usual. Obviously, our starting champion here was Tuhanarak. Not great for the build, honestly. Like, there's definitely a lot of work that needs to get put in, but she's still an absolute beast. And like what I don't love here is the fact that we're not getting the full use out of two of these things here. And I don't know if I have a replacement. I should. I have gloves. I have a glove replacement. The biggest issue is how much HP we lose. Like, we lose a ton of health by switching out the gloves. But I really don't have anything. Like, we gain a whole bunch of accuracy, which is nice. We gain some attack, but she doesn't matter. We gain a decent amount of defense, which is really good for her. We gain some extra speed, which is nice. We lose all the crit damage we have that's extra. We lose a little bit of crit rate, which we don't have a ton of anyways. But it's the HP. Am I willing to lose this much HP to gain that much accuracy? I think the answer has to be yes. I like that's probably like the thing. And then I just look into increasing if I'm gonna keep a lifesteal on for now, which I probably shouldn't, but if that is going to be the game plan, then I should just look into getting better pieces of lifesteal gear here. So I'm gonna do it. It doesn't feel like the best idea in the world, but I am gonna do it and just kind of suck it up. So we could roll this into 16 and just see if we get like HP percentage. We actually got additional speed, which I think is actually quite nice. Now we're up to 121 for speed, 132 accuracy, which is not great by any means, but that gets us up to at least 13 dragon, stage 13, or stage 13 in any dungeon, but dragon was just on my mind. We obviously have this ring that we got. We're super appreciative that we got this ring here from the last CVC tournament, which has helped out a decent amount in getting some just additional stats on, which is super nice. We don't have the masteries yet, but we're super close on the gems of being able to buy all of our masteries right now, which would be good. Then we have Ashwalker. Ashwalker's not bad. I meant to clean up the old account before doing this, and now I feel dumb. Because I did want to get some things at least a little cleaned up here. Alright, sorry about that. That was not the most appropriate time to do that, but here we are. Ashwalker, I like. I haven't used a ton. I feel like, well, I've used a lot, but just haven't got like a good focus. Have him currently in double offensive and a cruel set. I think cruel's not bad for him by any means. Just the additional chance of being able to ignore defense is quite nice. He is actually full ascension up to this point with 4-star, but still full ascension there, which is always really good. Have no accessories for him. We are maxed out on we're almost maxed out on his skills. We just need 4 more for his A3. And yeah, not incredible stats by any means. We're doing at least okay in the attack department at 1568 attack, but everywhere else is severely lacking. Only 10 accuracy. Crit damage is crap. Crit rate is crap. 123 speed is not horrible. I don't know what he's... I don't know like what good speed is supposed to be. It really depends on the area that I'm using them in, I guess. But this is Ashwalker. Next is Stitched Beast. Like I said, and the themes are going to be pretty much the same. Haven't used feels like I haven't used a ton. Like really sat down. I've like tried on my own just to see how they run and things like that by themselves and whatever else. Has just a hodgepodge of pieces on them, mainly just to have it. So there's just anything. No skill ups. He's in lifesteal and offensive gear for some survivability, but I really don't know what would be the better thing to switch him into, and this is kind of what we have for now. Then we have Rowan. Rowan in uncompleted gear, by the way. And I was just going with a really crappy offensive set, and it still feels really bad. I don't know. This must have been a newer piece that I got. Yeah, we're going to throw that on. That's so much better. I don't even know. This must have been just to complete missions that I did this, because none of these are even like leveled at all. They're terrible pieces that shouldn't be leveled, but I could have put at least a little bit more effort in. See, then you get the double roll into the accuracy on flat rate gloves, and it's like, what is that all about? Okay, well, I would have, whatever. I guess that alone, we just got a decent amount of accuracy on her. Can I get triple into speed? I got nothing into speed. These pieces are horrible. Anyways, it's just all temporary now, just to have stats, and a lot of what you're going to hear from me is like, gear is on them because the game is very early account. I don't play it very often, but I just need stats for them to put out some form of damage output. Who I actually quite like is Cagebound. I think Cagebound, and apparently has a horrible ratings, only has a 2.5 star rating on hellhades.com, which I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand how I don't fully understand how the ratings and stuff work. I know it's like based off of like damage and stuff that they do in certain areas, and like they got like a whole thing on it, and that's good for them. They're very, very, very intelligent people, and that yeah. But I personally have really enjoyed Cagebound on this account. Really got a good test in today, actually, before recording this video. Put some good equips on just to see. Obviously, he's a defense type, or his attacks are all based off of defense. So high defense is necessary. But there's just some other things that he does. His A1 lets it attack one enemy and place a shield buff on this champion for 1 turn, equal to 10% of their max HP. So it gives you a big reason to have a lot of HP on him. 2, which is, never a bad thing for survivability. He's just very survivable, which is nice. And an A1 shield, I love. I love a good old A1 shield. Then we have his A2 as a tackle enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 25% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. So this is obviously the baby version of decrease attack, which is okay, or the weak version. His buff can go up to 100% chance though, booked, and the skill down to a 3 turn, which is really nice on is not bad by any means, but being able to guaranteed quote unquote get the decrease attack on tackle enemies is decent for sure. And then Bound to Serve is the A3, places a 25% chance ally protect buff on allies except for this champion. So very useful in that regard, just being able to place a nice buff on everyone except for himself. And this can get booked down to a 3 turn if I get the Ascensions, which is going to be a part of my goals, is place a 25% ally protect buff on all allies except for this champion, and also place a 15% continuous heal buff on this champion for 1 turn. So he goes the ally protection on everybody else and gives himself a little bit of healing, which I think is very, very good, and just gives them a chance to survive a lot longer. probably one of the biggest things why I'm really like him on the account right now is because of the login rewards for Predator, or like the progression track. You get all these Lizardmen gear, and so you got the banner, you got the gloves, or you got the banner, you got the amulet, and you got the ring. And I've just been able to produce this ring. This ring, by the way, triple roll in defense. Triple, that's amazing. Triple roll defense percentage with a defense ring, and then a singular roll inside HP percentage is huge. This is honestly just a really, really, really good piece of gear. I think that just rolled oh so very well to be placed on him, and I love it. Like, I couldn't have probably asked for almost anything better. Maybe turn like this attack, like flat attack, into like even crit rate if possible, or like a little bit of accuracy would have been quite nice. So even this banner is not bad. HP banner, which obviously you want accuracy on the banner, but just for survivability, getting the HP on it will be nice. If my rolls go really, really well, I don't even know where I want them to go. Like, I wouldn't be mad if I got like a triple HP roll. It would give such a huge big HP buff. Good defensive rolls and the defense percentage or in the speed, honestly. So I really like him. I think probably just because I can get the best stats so far. I think out of everybody on the account, he probably has the best stats across the board. Or versus Tanarok, it's kind of hard to say. They're both very similar, I feel like, in that regard. And then we have a few more champions, but I haven't done a ton with them, so there's not really too much worth talking about them as of right now. But they are on the account, and I will be putting more interest into them hopefully very soon. Paragon is one who's very interesting to talk about, and I would like to touch on a bit more. It's just now is not like the best time to do so, but apparently he is incredibly good at a lot of cheese-based strategies, which is super nice, and so will be somebody I will be investing in sooner than some other people on the account, for sure. I never really dipped too much into talking about the masteries on the individual champions. Like I said, Tanarok has no masteries on her yet, but when I do get all the gems that I need to afford the masteries, I'll probably put her in the Doom Tower masteries just to have her ready. Ashwalker is just generic PvE masteries, so that's what I'm building them in. Stitch Beast also generic, so I'll be slowly building them in that. Rowan actually has the option to be a part of like a Fire Knight mastery build, and that's gonna be my focus for her. It just gives me a kind of a better chance into Fire Knight, which I am very grateful for. Unfortunately, Cagebound only just has like generic PvE build. I would have thought he would have had something a little bit different, maybe going down inside like the defense branch and stuff like that, with the, you know, the increased amount of healing and the value of the shields and stuff like that. Like, I feel like there's like a nice defense line you could go for with him, but I guess I'll just do like the basic generic PvE stuff for now, and then maybe as my account develops, I will erase that and I will put him. I'll try to build him out in like a different like trees and stuff like that. That kind of goes down more of like a defensive accuracy line maybe, or a defensive support line than the offensive support line. So we'll have to see what happens when we get there. Other than that, we are starting to work our way through brutal camp, or no, I'm only working my way through hard campaign, but honestly, I may be able to do it with where Cagebound is at right now. Cagebound might be able to take on some of the stuff himself, which would be really good. Then Ice Golem. Actually, we haven't even touched Ice Golem. Like I said, this account has barely had any work into it. It's just the truth. We're able to grind through stage 7 of Minotaur, which is really, really nice. We haven't even touched Spider. We haven't even touched Dragons. So and we haven't even touched Fire Knights. So next week is going to be like, we're actually going to get a much better look at, well, how are we doing in Ice Column? How are we doing in Dragons? Like, where can we actually get to is going to be a big thing for next week. Clan Boss, we cannot single key yet. I will run a battle, though, and we will see where we're at now that we have actually upgraded stats into cage bound and stuff like that. So we're going to let this run, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, everyone, so I'm back. Obviously, we didn't do phenomenal damage. 1.11 million. Not bad, I guess, but not great either. So there's definitely some work to be put in for sure in the Demon Lord side of things. So next week I'd love to be able to at least one key it. And then we're on 1 for Classic Arena, but that just kind of recently had like reset, and I only just got my rewards today, so I just have been starting over today. But this is just the condition of the account. It's not great, seemingly so, but there's definitely a solid platform, I feel like, to grow off of. It's just kind of doing it is like the biggest thing, and having time to do it. So I digress. But so I guess to go over or to reiterate what I was saying earlier, the goals of the account by next week is getting an actual proper idea of how far we can make it in Ice Golem and Dragons, just to see. We'll start pushing stages soon, but now we just need to kind of get an idea of where we're at. So that's number 1. Number 2 would be maxing out everybody on their ascensions this Sunday, if possible. If I don't get like Tahanarok or like Rowan done, I don't think it's the end of the world for them. But I would love to get Cagebound maxed out, and probably everybody else if possible, just to get them prepped and ready for the future. I would love to at least get 1 ascension on Tahanarok or Tanarak. If I could get to 3, that'd be good, but I wouldn't try to push too much past 3 right now. And if I could get Rowan to 3, then I would like to get Rowan to 3. So the main goal is at least getting everybody to at least 3, if not further. And I do have a question to ask everyone. I have my feast, what is it, in the tavern here. I've got the feast upgrade, which I love, by the way. But who should I use it on? Honestly, if I'm being blatantly real, the biggest one I'm leaning towards is Cagebound. And it's Cagebound for, basically one reason. And it's because I have the legendary accessory pieces to put on him. And so he could very quickly become a very powerful, survivable champion for an early game state. And I think that could be very helpful to have, especially if he's doing well right now, being able to go through we're on hard campaign and stuff like that. So if he does well through here, I could almost see it possible that he could go through brutal campaign as well, which would be nice. Or just having good survivability inside the dungeons. I think he's got maybe the best chance at having just that really high end survivability, especially paired up with some of the additional champions. That would be my first pick off the top of my head. Obviously, there's Paragon is very, very good. So if I could get Paragon up to level 60, because I'm probably going to have to use him for cheesy strategies and stuff like that. So if there's any reason where it just might be worth it just to push him all the way up, I could do that now. I may not necessarily use him straight away, but he'd be fully prepped and ready in the wings. The next 2, you either have Rowan, just for Fire Knights, and I don't know how important it is for me to get through Fire Knight right now, but just having that as an opportunity, plus She puts in really good damage on the Demon Lord, and so could really double down a lot of the damage that I'm putting out, which would be nice. And last consideration would be Tahanarok, but does not feel worth it at all. I'd rather just grind up for the food on her at this rate. Seeing as we already have 3 5-star chickens, we only need 2 more. I'm just going to grind up for the food on her. So that one's actually off the table. But you guys have to let me know what you think down below. Leaning towards cage bound. Probably going to do cage bound. But it can definitely be discussed. Or there's always the option of just waiting and seeing if I get anybody better later down the line to do that with. But I don't think it's worth it. I kind of just need the power upgrade now. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will be posting this series on Thursdays. So if you guys are interested in seeing more Void-only content, then pay attention to my channels on Thursdays. That's when these videos are going to be posted. And I will see you guys in another video soon. Peace.